Right then. So let's have a look what happened. Let's kind of go over why we kind of decided what to do, and what we did in certain situations that kind of threw it a little bit. Let me just mute that. There we go.
Yep.
So, I mean, overall, I do think this is still a good game. This lane is kind of a little bit. You just have to wait him out, like wait out his early game, and then as soon as his early game's over, you can kind of do quite a lot. But overall, let's have a look. So the early laning phase, the kind of this was fine, but one of the things that we can do is in this situation, instead of going for the minions, like we can actually hit him a few times and then just E through, like just for a short little trade. You do take a bit of cast of minions, but the thing is you heal for quite a substantial amount, and his heal is more situational.
Yeah.
But here, like stuff like this, in this situation, we have 3 casters. We shouldn't just allow him to walk up like this, especially when he's only got Q, because he's shown it. So don't even let him walk close to this minion. Instantly start hitting him a bit while we have quite a full bar. So just be a little bit more aggressive there.
Okay.
Like, even if it's just a hit to get his bone plane a little bit earlier and like an ult or two. Because what's going to happen is in these situations, the only thing he's going to be looking at is this minion. So in this position here, this is where we want to be just walking up just a little bit. Now, have I also ever discussed the trick with minions where you can hit them without taking aggro? Do you know about that? So
I can think of one way, but it's basically either involving the bushes or just hitting them outside of their range.
No.
But
so you can actually hit him inside of laning phase, and the minions won't do any damage to you. So if we look at the minions right here, watch exactly how the minions interact. See? So you see how they throw this auto, and as this auto is in the air, this stays down, right? Now what happens is this is phase 2. Is their actual attack. Now, they've also got their phase 1, which is their target. Now, the reason why this is really important when you're playing something like Tryndamere, and this does take a little bit of getting used to, but it will be really, really good, especially when you're into like the really easy matchups, is these little caster minions. So the melees, you have to stay 500 range away from them. So say, for example, in this situation, if you walk up here and the melees are here, then they're not going to run to you. But the caster minions would usually target you, right? So what happens when the casters actually fire an auto is they have their first phase target, which is where they choose you as the target, and then the second phase they wind up and throw their attack at you. Now what we can do instead is if we hit them during this phase 2, the minions won't be able to hit us because the minions have a cooldown on their autos the exact same way that we do. Now, the cooldown of the minions' autos don't actually come through until this one has landed. So what happens is this entire phase where they're throwing their autos out, you can actually hit him, say, once there, and what you'll see happen is these minions will target you, but then because
they won't attack me.
Yeah, they won't attack you. Now, let me... I can find an example. I saw it in a Midbeast video like a while ago. There was also an example when Knight did it in mid lane, but I think this one's better because it's top lane. Okay.
I think he's currently playing
So
Immortals, maybe.
Let me mute it, but Midbeast, I'm sorry for using your video. Please don't hate me. So I don't even think Midbeast mentioned it. Okay, so it was here. So do you see that?
Yeah.
Do you see how he just hit him? And they didn't target him whatsoever. I'll slow it down.
So basically, as the attack still goes through, they're not going to change their target if I hit during that time?
No. Not at all.
Oh my,
so
alright, okay.
These autos are coming through.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was previously. So their auto, their phase 2 attack. Now they've targeted. I keep going too far back. So this is attack.
Yeah.
And now back to phase 1 target, attack, back to target. Do you see how it like went to hit him, but then it didn't?
Yeah.
That's because it didn't have an attack ready.
Oh, interesting.
So you can abuse very heavily in top lane the fact that the minions have an attack speed, basically. And, you know, it'll take a bit of practice, but if you can nail that, then you will win 80% more of the lanes than you are currently.
Sounds good. All right.
So it's definitely something to practice, but let's continue anyway. So in these situations as well, we don't really want to throw random autos at the wave either. So in this situation, so this one, you know, it's not too bad, but now we've got to actually trade with it. But then this one, it's like, why, you know? Like, the first one was okay because the layering of the minions were too bad, right? So here, it's like, okay, this one's got less HP, so we have to layer this minion once now, because if we don't, he's A, going to get level 2 a little bit faster, and B, he's going to be able to go aggressive when you go for this minion, or if he plays it properly anyway. So we need to do that first layer, which is fine. But then the second one on the minion, this was in a kind of good spot for you, right? Because he's got to go for this one, and these were full HP, so you haven't got to hit anytime soon. So by putting this auto into this now, you've now matched this HP, which now means you're both going to be farming at the same time. So it might seem okay, but it's like that's a window that you could have used to get an auto or two in.
Oh, okay.
This was completely fine because we got 2 first. Did we use our full E range there? Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We did.
So, I mean, Renekton is a little bit awkward because obviously he can jump away, but...
Yeah.
So we got just a little bit too close to the tower.
Yep.
It was a bit bad.
And right here, I didn't even have to hit the minion because it should have just pushed back into me.
Yeah, so this pulls. It doesn't push, it pulls. So...
Right.
So why do you think in this wave specifically, this pulls?
This pushes back into me simply because it's closer to his tower and my minions are low on HP, no?
So it's also a cannon, so this cannon's going to get a few autos in early.
That too.
Which means the wave's going to be a thing. But also, it's kind of the mental game here as well, right? Because obviously our cannon's going to come and do exact same damage, but it's also kind of the mental game because the fact that we've taken such a heavily favorable trade, he wants to get his Fury back, and B, he wants to auto the wave now because he's like, oh, I get a chance to auto the wave. So what he's going to do now is he's going to end up pushing it back into you just because what happens in these elos is because players haven't hit a minion for so long, they instantly in their brain, they're like, I need to hit minions. I'm going to completely, I don't know, I'm going to lose the lane if I don't hit these minions. But in reality, that's not the case. So he's pushing it hard now. So also, so another thing that we do as well is we're always choosing to engage with our E. So like right here, see, like in that kind of situation, he was always going to go for that minion. So that minion, as soon as they go low, that's when you want to walk up, get an auto or two, and then E away. Your E radius is like around you, and then where you go to, right? So few autos, E away, perfectly fine. Whereas what we're doing, by choosing to E in, we're putting ourselves in his range of kind of influence, and also we're going to hit the minions and damage them.
Yeah.
So it's like, here, see, it's like, okay, this wave, you know, like, he's going to push this back, like, but then we just kind of run in. Which, it's okay, we get his flash, but overall we could have done the exact same thing with some autos.
Yeah, but if I just walk into auto range to auto him, doesn't he just hit me with his Q?
But then, I mean, yeah, in this situation, because he's got Q up, but, I mean, he's going to anyway, right? Because we E in, like, so we E in and then he gets us with his Q anyway, right? So it's like, we started well, and and I know that was the intention because obviously we're on call, but we you know, it's like we had such a HP advantage anyway that we probably would have been fine. But here, so this was really bad. So in this situation now, we still want to be punishing him on minions whenever he walks up. Even though the wave is big, we have E so that we can constantly get away, right? And we don't want to allow him to drop because he's on about 220 HP right now. So we can still, like a few autos do a lot. Right here, we're giving up pressure when we don't really need to ward, right? Because it's like, okay, we're going to ward, but are we really in any danger here? We've got our E, we've got our flash, our ghost. We don't want to use them, obviously, but we have our E available. And even though we do know that she's in this top side of the map, like it doesn't really matter because this wave's pulling in. So if Shyvana like comes anywhere near, we literally just E like this, and then we just skirt around the wall back to our tower. Unless we're in range where he can E and EW us, that's the only kind of time where it's scary. But even then.
But even then, I get away because it's hard for Shyvana to just follow up that.
Yeah, like she has to just run onto you, and it's like she don't really have a gap closer. So it's like, see, like, oh, okay, as soon as he uses his E, we just E in response.
Yeah.
And then here, so this was a little bit grief. So the thing is, in this situation, is like the cannon we have to walk up to, but the rest we just don't want to walk up. Now, see another issue with us using our E just randomly here. So we get this minion, okay, great. And then we're going to get this cannon. Like, this cannon is one auto. So we just walk up, auto, and then we E away. So based on what we've already discussed, why do you think this is?
Just to exert as much pressure as possible, no?
So we just want the cannon. So we're going to get the cannon and then E away. We might get a better poke, but... What did we say previously about when we discussed you Eing into the wave?
It puts me... Obviously, I'm damaging minions that I don't want to damage necessarily.
So that's the primary reason. So in this situation, we know this is going to crash. Like, we have no option but for it to crash. So we don't really want to be touching the minions whatsoever here because, simple rules on the tower, 2 tower, 1 auto, 1 auto, 1 tower, 1 auto, and then 7 an auto. So obviously melee, caster, siege. So by us Eing into the wave and damaging the minions, we're just kind of making it harder for ourselves under the tower. Not only that, but when this wave is under the tower, we want it to be under the tower for as long as possible. So even though there's an argument, well, okay, but, even though I've hit it, I can hit it again and layer it down so that I can also last hit it with 1
Your
tower
mic is
shot.
cutting off, bad boy.
Oh, sorry.
Good.
So, like I was saying, there is an argument that, we can just auto this minion again, right? Then the tower will hit it once, and then we'll get it. But then the problem is, when the wave is in the tower here, we don't really want to... we want it to be there as long as possible. So that extra tower shot on the melee is super important because that's going to stack a bigger wave here, which gives us an even better slow push. So it's like this micro interaction, even though it seems small, actually does a lot.
Okay.
Like, we missed it there, but it's like, okay, so what, really?
Yeah. And now it's like not crashing perfectly.
Yeah, and even then, that auto again. Like, in this situation, we can just let this kind of crash. Like,
okay.
So, see, like, we get the kill, but then we die, we lose some minions. It's not really that worth, especially when he's low. Now, what do you think the problem with killing him here is as well? So we knew Shyvana was here. Like, I mean, we knew she was still in topside. Because she was waiting for the crash. But now, what do you think the issue is here as well? We have a Renekton, who is stronger than us early. So what do you think the problem is with the fact that we've now killed him? Like, we've got the gold, we've died. But what else do you think? So, in this position of lane, who is in control? When the when the lane is like this in general.
When the wave is like this, generally speaking...
the lane in general. Like, the wave is going to crash to our tower, we'll farm it all, and then we get a slow push. But, how is he going to heal? When the wave is crashed in.
Yeah, he can't really.
Not really. And on top of that, we can, because obviously we're farming at the tower. We've got quite a lot of fury already. So we're going to get even more HP back. And then as soon as the wave is slow pushing, we can just all in it. Because he's going to be so low on HP. Now the problem is the fact that he's reset now. He's full on HP now. So he's going to come back into lane and he's going to be in control again because he's stronger early.
Yeah, and he also has a level advantage because I'm losing a couple of minions on the tower now.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it doesn't have a level advantage, but
It's a little bit.
Yeah,
it's a little bit.
I mean, he also shared his kill XP though, so
yeah, true.
Whereas we got it solo, which is actually better for us because we get 20% more XP. So solo kills from level 1 to 6 give 20% extra XP. And then at level 7 and 8 they give 10% more. So we still get significantly more XP there. But the problem is we could have used his slow push.
Just not died there.
Yeah, we could have. He was gonna die eventually anyway, or he was gonna stay in lane and just get slowly outscaled more and more.
Yeah. Alternatively, he could have reset and just sealed his fate immediately because I would have had a huge reset with a beautiful reset.
He's controlling our reset timer too. So we don't get our Berserker Greaves on first. So we're down a lot on tempo right now.
Okay.
So sometimes holding somebody in the lane when you have an advantage is actually more beneficial for you than
just sending them back to the base.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if there's any potential it's going to be a 1-for-1. If Shyvana wasn't there then sure. But we knew she was there.
It should have guessed she was there. I didn't know, but
even though we don't have information of exactly where she is, we're still in a position where because we don't see her elsewhere, we have to presume that she's still there.
Yeah.
That was fine. Nice little auto as the slow push was going in. Here, we're never going to get anything on Vlad. Just take the Scuttle Crab. When you're moving like this, you're not really looking for a gank on a Vladimir. This was just a waste of time. What we're looking for is to lead the Scuttle towards top side and kill that, and then basically because his wave is pulling back into us, we're not really going to lose that much, but we're going to secure the Scuttle Crab, which along with this vision here, we're completely safe in top side because Shyvana can't really get there unless she goes through lane, which if she goes through lane and we die to that, then we've really fucked up somewhere,
Yeah.
And here, we get the vision on her, great, but we've already wasted so much time trying to gank a Vlad that we didn't get that crab in time, and we also missed some minions, So tempo is super, super important. So I think that's one of the main things we have to focus on. Is just making sure that we're keeping that tempo and keeping pressure on as much as we can. Even in a losing matchup, we've seen that he's made so many mistakes. And see here again, when it comes to kind of tower, this minion, fine, it was going to drop low. These minions, no need to hit them. We're just losing them when it's it's whatever. This gank was a little frivolous as well. Nothing's really going to come out of this. Just ignore him and just farm your wave.
Okay.
Or, here, they're targeting
Or maybe
you.
I should have waited a bit longer with engage.
So not even that. I mean, not even that. You get these, and then right here, instead of going... Oh, wait, sorry, that's not what I was looking for. So right here, instead of going in, because his caster's targeting you, we just walk up. So we let the Graves come, force the Renekton away, and then we just pull these up, and then we freeze it.
No, okay.
But now it just crashes. And
now it just crashes. I'm losing 2 minions again for 1 minion for no particular reason.
Yeah, we lost the XP.
Yeah.
And then here, instead of us having a freeze, we're getting another slow push.
A slow push again.
Which, slow pushes are good when they're in the lane, but this is the thing with top lane. Most top laners, you don't really have significant amounts of wave clear unless you're playing things like Garen. Yeah. So, you can't really do all that much.
Yeah.
So you have to just wait for the wave and just slow push it. But, I mean, slow push does allow you to move elsewhere as well, which is always nice. I mean, we are moving when we can though, which is good, but so this was fine to crash it now.
Yep.
So this is this one of the things. So when you're in this position, what should you be doing? which we were. So I do also want you to do some CS drills as well. So the CS drill I want you to do is spawn. Familiarize yourself with spawning dummies with keybinds. Spawn a dummy here, and like just play the lane out for say 10-20 minutes, and keep your eyes permanently on the dummy. Don't look at your minions. The only time you look at your minions is when you're about to last hit.
Okay.
Because you need to get some muscle memory about, you need to get a feel for when you need to last hit a minion. Because right here, I don't know if this is me presuming or not, but we were so focused on last hitting these minions that we were missing out on vital information on the map. So right here, the red buff is respawning, and I don't think we noticed that.
No, I didn't notice. I didn't.
Because I said go for Krugs and then red, and then when we got
And then
to red, you're like,
and then
oh,
like
red
here in
buff.
this and then we realized right here.
Yeah. So why is this also free? Now, I mean, it's just giving it away. I've just ruined it for myself. But why did we know that this red was free as well?
Top had prio, mid had... I had prio, Grace was here, and mid also has prio.
Shyvana's also an absolute fiend for Drakes. Like, because she gets bonus stats per Drake, we knew that she was on it. Like, we could take a very educated guess. So we knew she was on it. That's why we could go and get the red buff. And then here, so this was another little bit of a mistake. Right here, Graves does not need you to help him on this this crap. What Graves needs is you to keep prio in a lane and appear in a lane. Just in case Shyvana's coming for a red there and she, R's over the wall, gets an E. Who knows? But, we actually got it with red. That's kind of funny. So what we needed to do there is as soon as we got a red buff, we needed to reset. Because if we were to
might cut off again.
Oh, sorry. So I think that's just on Discord. But, so what we wanted to do is we wanted to get that red buff, instantly reset, spend, and come back. Now, this is the next thing, sorry. Noon Quiver, it's not too bad in terms of gold efficiency, but base items are 100% gold efficient as well. So instead of going Noon Quiver, just get pickaxe and longswords. Because it's just pure AD, which amplifies your crit as well, and then you end up in a position... Well, it doesn't amplify your crit, you have more AD for when you crit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Noon Quiver isn't an essential item on anybody. Even ADCs. I see ADCs go Noon Quiver all the time when it's like, okay, the attack speed is nice, but we don't really need it. We've just picked up Berserker Greaves as well on this spike. So Berserker Greaves are already a massive attack speed boost. We don't need anything more,
Yeah.
Because what happens here is because we wasted so much time, we're not here to kind of catch the wave and stop him resetting.
Yeah.
Whereas if we got there earlier, we could have trimmed it down a little bit and stopped him from actually getting a recall off.
Yeah.
But again, we get another soul push. One of the reasons why soul push is important here as well is even though he's reset, her Krugs are available, or if they're not available by the time you get there, then your Grump is available. Vision. So yeah, Deep Vision, Grump, it's fine. So we end up in a position where we can use the fact that he is pinned to his tower to go and do other things, which is one of the things that you always want to look for when you are playing top lane, because again, there isn't really a massive amount of wave clear in the top lane.
Yeah.
And to be fair, he's respecting the pull of the lane, but... So, even though we don't get Krugs, we get wards. So this was a little bit grief. We just forgot to ult.
Yeah, we just forgot to ult.
Yeah, so she is huge.
Yeah, just underestimated her damage there, to be honest.
To be fair, she was there, but I didn't call that she was coming either, so it's partly my fault. But in this situation, we probably didn't want to fight anyway. We probably just wanted to go and get these camps and then farm this top. Because as Tryndamere, you're just looking to get 3 to 4 items. Well, 3 items ideally. And if you can get 3 items before, a certain, if you get 3 items before 25 minutes, you're laughing as Trynd.
Yeah, then I'm pretty much invincible because no
Yeah.
one can fight me in the side lane.
Because what happened in this game is because we wasted tempo in so many points, it meant that we couldn't actually, be as much of a threat as early into the game as we would have liked, especially with those two deaths. So it meant that they managed to get a lot more pressure than we would have liked them to.
Yeah.
So this was fine. Holding the wave there was good. So he's a little bit strong, but...
Yep. That's
Again.
just reenacting early.
Yeah, he started falling off at like 11 plus. Shiv came, so it's like, okay. To be honest, I think we should have probably just taken the blue here as well. But it's whatever. Like, you wouldn't get Gromp if, say, Graves was coming towards it, but... So this was a little bit grief too, because I think her Krugs are up at this point. I think this is where we dove. So it's fine to try and scare him away, but we don't want to dive, because it's a Renekton. Like
then I just got a little too greedy.
Yeah. So again, this was a big tempo swing, because if we would have crashed this wave in, then guess what we do? We go and we check our Krugs. If the Krugs aren't up, we go through, we take our walls, we take our blue, and we just farm up everything. We just go crazy. Now this is kind of a situation. Sorry, it was actually way before this, 14. I just wanted to quickly explain. So in this situation here, one of the worst things that you can do when you're trying to get an advantage is leave the base without spending gold. Now, we could have waited for a dagger, but it's going to take way too long. So for a longsword, sorry. But it's going to take so long and the wave is coming into us, so we don't want to wait that long. So instead, just get a dagger. It's 300 gold. It's going to sell for 210, which is 70%. So we're not losing a significant amount, but we get more trading power with the gold that we have. So it's like, even though you're not really going to build it into anything, like, still get it because it's better than leaving with 300 gold. Because that's 300 gold is your kill, the kill that you've got. So if you leave with that, then you've just wasted that kill in terms of pressure.
Okay.
So here again, I think we probably should have just taken blue and the wolves as well, because Graves clearly isn't farming. Sorry, this is the same position. I'm griefing. So here, this is where he comes down. It's it's fine. So here, like, instead of going for this crab's off limits because you've got no mid laner.
Yeah.
So just go straight to the blue, straight to the Gromp. And just kill them instead. Like, don't go for the crab.
Okay.
Like, maybe you're going to upset Graves, but do you really care? Like, he's choosing not to farm. And
so basically, if I get the feeling that he technically is a good jungler, then I maybe wouldn't take his shit constantly.
Yeah, definitely not. Like, I mean, Graves is a scaling jungler as well, so it is nice in him, but the amount of times that he pathed away from those topside camps, even though they were up, means that he has no real intention of getting them. And so
then if I don't take them, they're basically just sitting there.
Yeah, and dust. What he doesn't realize as well is every level that he is above the camp, he's going to lose 10% XP. So, but if you don't kill them, then he's going to end up losing up to 50% XP. Which is not good for anybody. So in theory, you're actually doing him a favor.
Yeah. As long as I'm not like taking the camp like straight away from him as he's
I mean, if he's pathing straight into it,
then obviously it's a bit mean.
Yeah,
and also kind of stupid. But yeah.
And this Zyra was a piece.
Yeah, then we had a very nice person visiting.
Yeah, So here, this we don't really want to jump in.
Yeah.
We just want to go back, farm this wave. Again, we're just playing for breakpoints. I know I was feeding you the amount of gold you needed, but just make sure that you do kind of get used to how much you need based on thing. The thing that I always do is I usually I just memorize the amount that it costs to complete the item. So like Gale Force 625, Navori 825, I 625. Like memorize that, and then the base items become easy, right? Everybody know. Well, I mean, you should know at this point. Pickaxe is 875. Longsword is 350. So then you can just kind of piece together in your mind the build, and then you'll know how much code you need. It's the easiest way, I find, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a bit of memorization, but it's not exactly difficult.
Especially when, like, it's like, to be honest, you can run the same build every single game and, you know, benefit.
Pretty much.
So there we go. So see, this reset was good because we managed to get an Avori and another Crit Cloak, which again puts us to pretty much, well, yeah, as you can see, I was going to say 100, but it's 95% crit.
It's basically 100.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you don't crit, like, that 5% of the time, then that's just very unlucky.
Yeah, that's tragic. Then it's just not destined to be.
Yeah.
When the stars align to make sure you don't deal damage.
Exactly. And then 550 gold, which is very nice. We can get a BF, 1300. So we should have been at this point minutes ago, you know. So right now, we should be sat on IE as well. So by 25 minutes, you want to aim to have that Gale Force Navori IE with your boots.
Yeah.
And then at that point, then you can start impacting the map. Right now, you still need to get to that IE. So, you know, it's a little bit hard.
And I still need something extra maybe to even deal damage to the Renekton because I can't really...
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, Renekton isn't really going to be your concern. Like, don't recall in the open either. Just make sure...
Yeah, that was just a greedy recall.
Yeah.
That was just a greedy recall.
Here, you farm this, you get your IE. Okay. So now, to be honest, we do kind of want to be looking to kind of push waves and then group a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're super, super strong. And all we need now is an armor pen item, and we're good. So this was super important that we split push this. Because they're already in top, and they're going to be looking to go for that. Tier 1 is not worth shit at this point. And Baron is available. So us just getting pressure down here is very, very good. And we have flash, we have everything. We can easily get away.
We're pretty safe.
Yeah, here, like, we kind of grief by not walking directly on him. But here, it's like, okay, we see Shyvana, it's fine. We just get out. We're invincible without ultimate. It's completely fine. And then from this split push, our team end up getting Baron.
Yeah.
So that's really good for us.
I think that's the first good call my teammates made.
Yeah, here, like, we have to use our pings because, you know, plat players, they don't really know not to fight. They've just got Baron. They've all got a big chunk of gold from even killing the Baron alone without how much they got on them. Just ping back away. Just spam ping it like crazy. There's no point.
Yeah. Obviously, if they don't listen, then it's unlucky, but...
Yeah.
At least try.
Yeah. Like, you'd be surprised when you're this big. A lot of the times people do actually listen when you're this big.
Yeah, but to be fair,
like, Tryndamere is massive.
Yeah, but to be fair, in that one particular game, everyone also had the impression that I'm just AFK farming.
Yeah.
Doing nothing. To be fair, I did kind of fuck around with my tempo too much, but like...
Yeah, tempo was a big problem this game, but overall, we still got super ahead here. I don't know if you would have just gone straight for it if I hadn't said. You have to kill the super off, obviously, but... yeah, just going straight for the inhib is super good because you don't need minions, they're all bot.
Yeah.
So we just get that and then instantly recall. This was very unfortunate because if we would have used ultimate here, we
had a very good chance of actually killing them.
Yeah, because so first mistake here, we're gonna break this down a little bit more. First mistake, you eat here. This isn't your goal. You want to E on Ash. No joke. Right now, look at her HP, 1,300. So
that's 2 crits.
Yeah. I mean, that's like 1 crit Gale Force.
And my E.
Yeah, literally. So you could have one-tapped her right here. So you one-tap her. You then one-tap Renata because she's only got like 950 HP as well. And then it doesn't really matter about these two as much because Graves is respawning. We can kite them away. We can like run off. And if they follow us, they don't get this because they don't really have that many minions either. So yeah, this we could have played this different, and we would have potentially stalled the game, which we're huge. So this would have also led into us getting our Cyrildas, and then the game would have been won. Or I mean, well, I hope so anyway.
Yeah.
So overall, tempo is definitely a big thing to focus on. Learning them reset timers. Also try and learn that attack mechanic, because that's very important when you're playing things like Tryndamere. So yeah, I think focus on those things for now. See how that goes. And yeah, I'll end the recording here.